15th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Oh, yeah. So we got up to Omar Le Rav Nachman, Hachab Mayaskinen, Kegon, Shenishba, Chutz Lebezdin. And we said, so if you'll ask, the Mishnah, the Mishnah in Shavuos seems to contradict the ruling of Rav Huna Bar Rav that once he makes a shvua, so then the custodian does not have to pay because the depositor has received something in exchange for his claim. He's received a shvua. It means when it says its owner will take it below Yishalem, and he, the custodian, will not pay. But the Mishnah in Shavuos says he does have to pay if the Eidim prove that he swore falsely in regard to the his claim that the item that he admitted to receiving was lost, which is as a shomer chinam, he would not be liable for that. Unpaid custodian, he would not be liable for Veda V'Gzela. But the witnesses come along and say, no, that's not what happened. Achlu, they said that he ate it. And so, accordingly, the Mishnah says that he's a Mishalem Hakeren. He's got to pay for the principal of the item that was deposited to him. And so that would contradict Rav Huna Bar Rav, who says that he doesn't have to pay after having made a shvua. So Rav Nachman came along and said, what's the resolution? Is that the Mishnah, Hacham Mayaskinen, in the Mishnah, he means, is talking about Kigon Shenishba Chutz Lebezdin. The reason why, in the case of the Mishnah, that he's got to pay when his shvua was contradicted by the witnesses, is because he made a shvua Chutz Lebezdin. And Rav Huna Bar Rav, he's talking about a shvua that was made in the Bezdin. So if you'll ask, so what's the difference between the inside and outside the Bezdin? Why should one be accepted and one should not be accepted? We read the Rashi. Rashi just said chutz lebezdin. The Mishnah is talking about a shvua that was made chutz lebezdin lo alima shvua lafkia mamoina. A shvua made outside the Bezdin doesn't have the same impact, doesn't have the same strength, doesn't have the same strength. A shvua in the Bezdin with the dayanim and the Bezdin there, and they adjure him and they tell him, it's a very, very serious thing to make a shvua altogether, and certainly a shvua which is not true, etc., etc. And so, to make it and then I don't know if they still do that. We saw at the Pelios. The Pelios says that the ultimate is that the judges figure out a way not to have to administer a shvua to anybody because of the fallout is very severe of a false shvua that people don't realize that's so. So if they would realize, they wouldn't do it. But in any case, that's what's going on over here. That's what's going on over here. Okay, now we go to the next step of the Gemora. So this is Ihachi, Amalei Ihachi. He said back to him, Ihaki, where is this?
It's 106A2, left-hand column, last paragraph.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Alan.
Morning.
How you doing today?
Baruch Hashem. A few glitches, but we're doing okay.
Okay, Baruch Hashem, good.
There's always glitches, but that's part of life.
Yeah, that's part of life. Okay, so would you like to read for us?
I'll be back in a minute.
Alan, you know where the place is to read from?
I have 102A2.
No, it's 106A2.
106A2. Okay. Oh, all right.
Left-hand column, last paragraph. Rav Acha bar Mayume counters.
Okay. Oh, it sounds like he doesn't like this answer that Reb Nachman gave.
Nope.
Which column now is it?
Left-hand column, last paragraph.
All right. Rav Acha bar many in the main counters, right?
Right.
Okay. Amalei, he said, Rav Nachman, more say for. If so, consider the Mishnah's latter cause. If the owner said to the unpaid custodian, "Where's my deposit?" then I entrust it to your care, and the custodian replied, "It was stolen. I am exempt from payment." Mishbi Horani. If the owner then said, "I adjure you that the response is true," Omar, Omain, and the custodian said, Amen, Adin, Edim, Oso, Shegabo, and afterwards, witnesses testify against the custodian. He stole it himself. Mishalem, Tashalome, Chelfel, and the custodian paid the twofold payment. Hodor, However, if the custodian admitted in his own accord that he swore falsely, Mishalem, Keren, Mesh, or shame, he pays the principal and the fifth surcharge and brings an asham offering. Mala kor toch chutz base then, and if it should enter your mind that the mission is dealing with a case where the custodians who are outside of court, mi'ikor kefel, is there any twofold payment for an oath taken outside of court?
Oh. So we have the case. So this case that's been brought from the Sefer of the Mishnah in Shavuos that we looked up yesterday. That said that when the guys when the witnesses come and disprove the one that made the shvua, so he's got to pay Karen. Here in the Sefer, we're talking about a case where he claimed that it was stolen, and the witnesses come and they say that it wasn't stolen. You stole it. And so in that case, he's got to pay kefil. He's got to pay kefil for having stolen it, because a ganav pays kefil. So, so what's wrong with what's the problem over here? The Gemora continues. In other words, Rav Acha is saying, if you thought that this case over here in the Reisha was talking about that he made a shvua chutz lebezdin, so biyika kefo. How could it be that that in this case here in the Seifa that it could be that he made the shvua outside of Bezdin, if the Bezdin is required, if the din is over here, he's got to pay kefo. Now, what we need Rashi to explain us. What's being inside or outside of the Bezdin have to do with paying kefo? The witnesses testified to the fact that the guy's a ganav. He ganved the pikadon. What's it have to do with swearing falsely inside the Bezdin, outside the Bezdin? He's a ganav, so he's got to pay kefil. We're gonna have to see. Is there a Rashi over here?
The only thing I see is one line, chutz lebezdin. There's one line. Is the one chutz lebezdin? There's one line.
Yeah, that was the chutz lebezdin that we already read.
Right.
From Rav Nachman.
Right.
And it says
So let's see.
Not strong enough. It's not as strong. That's all. Still, it's still irrelevant.
Okay, I'm timing that the reason why he's got to pay kefil over here is because witnesses are testifying that the guy is a ganav, and a ganav pays kefil. What's it have to do with the shvua? The shvua is strong. The shvua is not strong. Who cares how strong the shvua is? The witnesses testified that he's a ganav. Why should he not pay kefil? Okay. Yeah, I mean the pshat in the Gemora must be like the way you're saying, Lou.
Right.
So to say, how could there be a chiyuv of kefil for somebody who swore chutz lebezdin? Certainly, only the one that swore in the bezdin could be chayav to pay kefil. And so, since the Seifa is talking about a case where we see that from the fact that he's paying kefil must be that he made the shvua inside the bezdin. So therefore, the implication, the clear implication is that the Reisha must also be talking about the same type of a situation, that he's making a shvua also inside the bezdin. So if so, we see from the Reisha that the Reb Nachman's answer is not correct. It's not correct. Even when he makes a shvua in the Reisha inside the bezdin, that shvua is not strong enough to say that, oh, with that shvua he's, so to speak, paid his he's paid the depositor, and now he doesn't have to pay him the keren. No, not so. That's the idea. Okay, so, and I see that doesn't seem that, I just want to see if somebody is bothered by this question. Esvei. Okay, Tosus is asking something like this over here. Tosus in the top Tosus is saying that we have a din in the Gemora that a ton tanas ganav. He does pay kefil, but that's not the case that the Rav is talking about. Okay, fine. Let's go further. So Rav Nachman is now going to respond to this challenge of Rav Acha. Amolei. In other words, this is Rav Nachman who made chilik himself about the fact that the Mishnah in Shavuos is talking about he made the Shavuot chutz lebezdin, and therefore that Shavuot is not strong enough to acquire the item so that he doesn't have to give it back when the witnesses say that he's got the item that the depositor deposited to it. What is Reb Nachman going to say? Amalei. We go to Lud to continue the reading for us.
He said to him, that is, Rav Acher bar Manume said to Rav Nachman.
Rav Nachman says to Rav Macha. It's Rav Nachman's answer.
In my English says he said to Rav Nachman.
Where you're on the right column where it says Rav Nachman replies on 106.82. That's where we're up to.
Oh, okay. I'm in a different place. Okay. Amar Lei. So that is Rav Nachman said to Rav Acha bar Manume, Yachilna Lishanui Loch. I could answer you Reisha chutz leves din. The first clause is outside the court. B'seifa beves din, and the latter clause is inside the court. Mihu shinuya bechika lo mishaninan lach. But I'm not going to answer you that way because the answer is forced. Idi ve'idi beves din. In both cases, it's he made the shvua inside the beis din, lokasha, and this is not a difficulty. Kan bekafe here in one of the two clauses we're dealing with where he jumped up. Kan bishalo kafetz. Here he didn't jump up. So my English says jumped up means he personally adjured the custodian in front of the court to impose the oath on him. Whereas he didn't jump up means that he allowed the court to impose the oath on him.
Oh. Okay, so the kafetz, the jumping up, is referring to the depositor who's claiming that that he's the owner of the deposit, and so he's demanding when the custodian denies his demand, So he gets excited and he jumps up and he says, I adjure you to make an oath to what you just claimed against me.
According
Right? Swear to it.
according to my footnote, there's a Rashi that further defines this praise kafetz.
You want to go to
Okay.
that Rashi? So we're going to do that Rashi now. Kam b'kafa, it's here where he
Oh,
jumps.
wow. Yeah, it's a long one. A big
Yeah,
one.
it's a long Rashi. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Kam b'kafa, it's here where he jumps. The Reisha in the Reisha, the Katani taught Mishalem kishekafetz, that he has to pay when he jumps. The Hashbio, and he swore Kodim Shechayavo before they made Beis Din. Before Beis Din made him Chayiv, that's when he made his shvua, his false oath, so to speak. V'chi to Omar here that it says Rav below kafetz, that he said that he didn't jump. The Hadayinu and the judgment Hashvio that he swore, the Kanye, and they Otam, and it requires him a shvua, an oath. The Korah that the pasuk says in shuas hadayanim, that it has to be through the judges. Shuas talks about that it has to be in front of the judges that these happen. But Apol Gav, even though the Sefer low mitukam in the Sefer, it's not established the kafetz that he jumped up. The Katani that it taught kefo. The kefo, and that he has to pay kefo, the low et, and it's not said that, ella rather b'shvuat hadayim, only when the oath is in front of dayanim and judges. Miko morchom, nevertheless, reisha b'kafetz, the reisha that he jumped, the nichale, and it's good for him, l'ukme, to establish batre gavane, after his cases.
Betray Gavne.
Cases, betray to in both cases.
In two.
Dukta, it's still below l'ukme established b'shnei makom in two places. The sefer lo kasha l'rav, and the sefer is not a question on Rav. The Afal Gav, even though the Katani that he taught Mishalem Kefo, that he has to pay Kefo after the shvu, after the oath. The Koshachet, all the more so Karen, he has to pay the principal. The Modeh Rav, that Rav admits B'toain Tainus Ganav, that he's made a claim of a theft. But they come on, like later on, Mashmu will teach the shvua in the oath, the ka mechayev lay, that will mechayev them in kefil, lo mikniya lay kana. He doesn't acquire the principle.
All right. Well. So.
That is a long one.
Okay, so yeah, so Rashi okay, just maybe some of the highlights over here that we got out from the Rashi. How much time do we have, by the way, at this point?
We have over 15 minutes.
Oh, we have plenty of time. Okay. Okay, look. So the answer that he's giving over here, Reb Nachman, right? Notice that originally Reb Nachman said that the difference between the case of Rav Huna Amarav, where he does not, the custodian, have to pay. His shvua is his payment, so to speak, and the bailing takes the shvua, and he doesn't have to pay. That's the way we understand the pasuk. That was talking about a shvua that was made in Bezdin, he said, and rather the Mishnah was talking Hachabaya Skidan Kagon Shenishba Chutz LeBezdin. His shvua was Chutz LeBezdin. Now notice that Rav Nachman initially he said, I really could have told you that like I originally said, I wouldn't have to change anything that I said. I said that really the fact that you proved me that the Seif is talking about in the Bezdin, I can nevertheless maintain that the Reish is talking about a case which is outside the Bezdin, and sometimes you have a Reisha and a Seifa that they're talking about different scenarios. The Reish is talking about outside the Bezdin, and the Seifa is talking about inside the Bezdin. But he does admit that would be a not an ideal way to answer. It's not really an ideal way to answer, even though I'm pointing out that what's the reason why he even mentioned this, even though it's not an ideal answer. Because why is it not an ideal answer? Because we have a principle that when we learn a Mishnah, a Mishnah, if we got a Reisha and a Seifa, the Mishnah deals with the same general scenario, the same general background of facts in the Reisha as it does in the Seifa. So to say that the Reisha is talking, outside the Bezdin, and the Reisha and the Seifa is talking inside the Bezdin, is pretty undesirable type of way to explain a Mishnah's working. So therefore he says, I could have told you that, and then I wouldn't have to change anything that I originally told you, because he told us originally that that case that we were talking about in the Reisha is talking to Chutz LeBezdin, Legambre Chutz LeBezdin, not in Bezdin at all. Now, but that's not a good answer. It's not really a good answer. It's not a satisfying answer, because it's a very difficult way to explain a Mishnah. That's the Shnuya Dechuka. The Weltskvetch, that's what it's called. So we don't want to say the Weltskvetch. So rather, what do we have to do? Rav Nachman is really changing his answer a little bit from what he said the first time. Really, both the Reisha and the Seifa are talking that the shvua that was made by the custodian is in the Bezdin, not like I originally said. So I'm taking back what I originally said, based upon your question from this Mishnah. We could say that both Idi ve'Idi, both the Reisha as well as the Seifa of this Mishnah in Shavuos is talking bebezdin, but there's going to still be a difference, and that difference is and that'll be make an nafkamina in the case of Rebbe Huda Marav, where it says that the custodian, after making his shvua, he does not have to pay anything at all because he's made the shvua. So we got to keep that in mind. That's a case we have to keep in mind. So, but what's the deal over here? So now we go to Rashi. So Rashi tells us kan here b'kofats. Now what's kan here b'kofats? Bereisha. That's in the first case. Liktani mishalin. That's where we said that he's got to pay Karen. What's the kafetz? Kafetz said v'hishpioi kodim shechayvu bezdin. The claimant got excited and he jumped up and he heshbiu. He adjured the custodian to make a shvua. In other words, he said, swear to the fact that you do you swear to the fact that you adjure that it's that it's true that you that it was lost or it was stolen from you? And then he says amen, and that's we learned that's regarded as a shvua out of his own mouth. And but it was before the Beis Din officially was machayev him in making a shvua, and that's the big difference over here. That in that case, that type of a shvua before the Beis Din officially obligates the guy to make a shvua, he's just making a response to the claimant that got excited and jumped up and said, "Swear to that." That's not. It doesn't have that shvua doesn't have, even though it was in Beis Din, but it's in a certain sense it's not in Beis Din because it wasn't with under the auspices and the obligation that Beis Din put on him to make a shvua. So therefore, it doesn't have that koach to pater him from the obligation to pay. Kikama Rav, when he said that the guy doesn't have to pay after you make a shvua, no kafats. The claimant didn't jump up and say, swear to that. Dayanim heshbiuhu. The Dayanim, they were the ones that administered the shvua to him. And here's what Rashi says. As a result of that, Vakanya, and I have a correction on the next word. Instead of saying osa, it says you should read it according to the Rashash, be'osa. With that shvua that was administered by the Beis Din to the custodian to adjure that he has that in fact, as he says, that it was lost or stolen from him, Kanya, with that shvua that he made, he acquired the item in question, which, if you remember, that was the language of who's the one that said that? Remember, Kona b'shvua. Remember Ilfa. Ilfa, a few lines ago, he said Kona b'shvua. Shvu he the kanya. It's the shvua that makes the acquisition. And this is what Rashi's talking about over here. That's how Rashi understands how it is that this guy is pater. That there's a certain acquisition that he has done on the disputed item, and he acquired it, and even though he already, the truth is at that point he already ate it up. I don't know if he ate it up before. He ate it up before he made the shvua. We only have to say that he made the shvua before and he didn't eat it up yet. It's still there. He acquired it, so he ate his own thing. I don't know, but that's the language that Rashi uses over here. He acquired it with the shvua. Therefore, he doesn't have to pay. Shvua the krah b'shvua sadayonim ksiv. The shvua that the pasuk is talking about, that says that the velokak ba'alav, the bailim will take it, velo yishalim, and the defendant will not have to pay. That was administered by the dayanim. That's what the pasuk is talking about. So that's explaining the difference now between the din of Rav and the din in the Mishnah. One is kafetz and one was not kafetz. And then Rashi goes to the matter of the sefer with the kefil over there. Seifa lo kasha le'Rav. This is what Rashi said before in the previous Rashi. Spent some time with this in Dibur Maskil Hodem Me'atzmo. That Rashi said, "Umi seifa lo parich." The seifa. Oh, I'm sorry. No. That's a different seifa. Actually, it's a bit misleading. Here we're talking about a different case entirely. Seifa lo kashle l'Rav. The case of the kefil is not even any, doesn't present any contradiction or refutation of Rav in the first place, that we have to answer anything on it. The afugav the ketani mishalim kefil la'achar shvua v'kol shekain keren, because even though it's implicit in the seifa that even though he has made a shvua, he's going to have to pay after having made the shvua, even kefil. All the more so he would have to pay keren. That is not difficult for Rav, though. The Moda Rav, Beton Tanis Ganev, Kidlakon, Bishmaisen, the Shvua, the Kom Machayev Le, Kefil, Lo Makanya Le Karn. Oh. Now, Rashi's bringing up this case that we mentioned from Tosus about a Toan Tanis Ganev. So in other words, right? This is really what happened here. Toan Tanis Ganev means that this person, this custodian who was entrusted with this item, is making a taina that was, instead of returning it, he's taining that it was ganvid away from him. And but when the witnesses, and he swears to it also, but when the witnesses come afterwards and they say, "Oh, you were the one that ganvid it. There wasn't any other ganav except for you." So in that case, even though there was no act of Geneva per se, but it was just a way, a device of his to avoid having to return the item, and he could have also done so actually if he had said that it was lost. And therefore, what is he saying? He's saying that as a shomer chinam, I'm not chayav to give anything back to you. But if he says that a ganav came along and took it, so then there's a special din of ton tanas ganav, and he actually does have to pay kefil for that claim that he made. Ton tanas ganav, kelakaman b'shmaisin. We're going to see that later on in the Gemora. The shvua de kom chayav le kefil loy makanya le karna. The shvua that is machayev him in the kefil will not acquire for him the principle of the item in question, and therefore he'll have to pay the whole kefil, because we would have thought that the shvua itself would be enough to acquire the item, like Rashi said before, and that's why he doesn't have to pay the keren. So in this case, where he's technically speaking, since he's a ton tanas ganav, he'd have to pay the keren. I mean, he'd have to pay the kefil, but really, because of the shvua, he's already paid the keren, so he wouldn't have to pay kefil. But we'll have to see about that case later on. The Gemora is going to go into it, Rashi says. But over here, Rashi's saying it doesn't present a difficulty to Rav, because Rav is moda that in this case, in a case of ton tanas ganav, the shvua will not acquire even the keren. So it's not like the case that Rav said in his case, where the guy didn't claim that he was that it was ganvid from him. He doesn't. He will acquire the keren, and he therefore will not have to pay the keren. Because in the case that Rav said, what was the case that Rav said? What did the custodian claim was the story? What was the story? Yeah, that's all. Rabbi Yehuda Rab's case was the guy said, "I don't have it. I don't have your mana by me. It's not by me." He didn't say that it was that there was an act of geneva. So like that, he swore to it, and like that, there's no chiyuv kefil. It's not a case of ton tanas ganav. In that case, Rab says that he doesn't have to pay the keren because he was konet the keren with the shvur that he made. Okay, that was the seder. Okay, so all right, so that's Reb Nachman's answer. Reb Nachman's answer. So I don't know how. That's what we got so far. Okay, it's good. We'll hold it for here. We'll hold it right here. And so for tomorrow, on Chamishi, on Thursday, we got Amalei Rami Bar Chama to Rav Nachman. Rami Bar Chama is going to confront Rav Nachman with a different claim. Okay, so that should koyak to everybody for showing up.
Yeah, thanks.
All the best to Phil and to Alan.
Okay.
And to Lou. And last but not least, or we can even say Achron Chaviv, to Robert Lefkowitz of Orlando, Florida. At what is it now? It's 5:30 in the morning over there. Oh, something like that. Or it's very early. That's what it is. So Yashikoyach to everyone for showing up today and learning Torah. Baruch Hashem.
Right.
And everybody have a great day.
Lou, see you later, right? Lou, are we on for later?
Yes, 4:00.
Okay.
4 o'clock.
Big day for Rabbi.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on today. I think probably he won't be there. I think probably Shlomi will be teaching.
Yeah, he said he wasn't sure what he'd do.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi.
Okay.
All the
thank you.
best.
All right.